YouTube family, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, and we are happy to be outside and out of the house because the last week the weather's been crazy here in North Carolina, and we've had snow, sleet, snow, freezing cold. We have everything you can probably see around. We still have snow on the ground, but the roads are finally clear, and I'm finally getting to drive my car after a whole week. So I'm happy to be making some content for you guys and everything of that nature. If you haven't already, man, hopefully you go ahead and hit the like button, drop a comment and subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, we want to see you be a part of the family. We want you around for the long haul, so make sure you go do that for your boy. I want to thank all my return views because you guys been rocking with me the long way, and I thank you guys every video because you guys are really what making the channel go around. So I ain't gonna try to hold you too long with this video, so let's go ahead and get into the topic. You see the title and you see the thumbnail. Let me slow down here, okay, because there's still some snow and stuff on the ground here. They don't prep the roads well here because it don't snow but maybe once every 2 years, and when it snows it's catastrophic and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get into today's video, man. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. So this is what we got, man. I know on the previous video we talked about the Dodge Challenger, more specifically the Hellcat and the Red Eye, where the direct connect stages and stuff were available or going to be available, and at that time they wasn't available for the Charger. And also on that video I also mentioned that they didn't have anything for the SCAT packs. Well, that all changed. So we're gonna go into a couple things here. We're gonna talk about the Chargers, how those stages are gonna look, and we're also gonna talk about the SCAT pack as well, because the SCAT pack is pretty much one of the most popular V8s that Dodge make because of the fact of the price point and how much horsepower we get with the car. A lot of people getting the SCAT packs over the Hellcats and things like that. Like I said, more affordable, a lot of fun to drive and things of that nature. So let's go and get into that. Pretty much Dodge finally released the stuff on the Charger when it comes to the direct connect stages and things of that nature. I'm not sure why they had to release the Charger, Red Eye, Hellcat separately from the Challenger when both platforms are pretty much the same engine, similar chassis, same parts and things of that nature. So for whatever reason, the Charger and Challenger are treated separately when it comes to this direct connect, right? So this is what we got for the Charger Red Eye and the Charger Hellcat for its packages. We won't go into the pricing because I'm going to assume the price is going to be the same as the Challengers and everything because of the fact that the stages are pretty much going to be the same. So it's going to recap that really quick. So with the Charger Hellcat, this will be for the 2015-2020 Hellcat only for this part. Now the only difference between the 2020s and up is only 10 horsepower. So whatever the horsepower numbers I give you for the Hellcats, you can just add 10 horsepower for those that are going to be the 2020s and up, because you know those have the extra horsepower from the get-go to 717 and whatnot. So this is what we got for those packages. We still got the pre-stage, we got the stage 1 and the stage 2 packages for that. Pre-stage and the stage 1. They currently don't have the stage 2 for the Hellcats, but it's probably in the works for a little bit later. So for the horsepower we got for the pre-stage, of course, that is just the small bump on horsepower. That's just the intake, the thermostat, and the tuner for that. And that's only good for a 5 horsepower bump with the pre-stage. Like I said before, the pre-stage is, if you're planning on getting the rest of the stages, then you have to get the pre-stage. Each stage builds on top of the other one for the Hellcat. So only 5 horsepower there. Now with the stage 2, you have 747 horsepower for that. Now that, if I recall correctly, is going to be like a pulley upgrade to reach that horsepower amount. So that's what y'all got for the Hellcat. Now for the Red Eyes, this is what we have. For the Red Eyes, we have the pre-stage, which like I said, is only going to give you 5 horsepower. That's going to give you 802 horsepower, and that's going to, like I said, only the tuner, the intake, and the thermostat that you're going to have there. Stage 1 is going to give you the 840 horsepower. Like I said, that is the same as the Demon Tune, so you will be able to have a Charger with 840 horsepower. Now the only way you can get that 840 horsepower if you do race gas on that. Now stage 2 is going to be the big one. That's going to be 885 horsepower, and that's going to give you the pulley upgrade and the tune to give you that much horsepower. There is apparently a stage 3 that's in the works, but as of right now there's no information on that. Now the next thing Dodge is bringing, they also have the direct connect for the Demons. So the few people out there that have the Demons and actually race them and want to get more power out of them, those are going to be coming available soon as well. Currently no information on that, but I'm just imagining that if the Demon already can do 840 horsepower on race gas, I'm definitely assuming that this car is probably going to be pushing maybe close to 1,000 when it's all said and done. There's definitely going to be pulley upgrades for that. Of course the tuner, you're going to need that. More than likely a pre-stage kit that you're going to have to need as well. So be on the lookout for that coming soon. Now this is what we want to get into, the meat and potatoes of this video. So I mentioned in my first video, I'm about to change, but this car I know you better not cut me off because we're going to go if we got to go. So I mentioned on my first video how the SCAT packs didn't have anything going. Now I wish that the SCAT packs would have. Oh, he almost wrecked. Now y'all saw that, right? He almost wrecked. Oh my gosh. people cannot drive, man. He's still swerving all across the road. I don't know if y'all can see that, but he is still swerving. But like I said, one thing I was disappointed with, that Dodge didn't have anything for the SCAT packs, but that has been proven false. They do have something for the SCAT packs. The SCAT packs will have a pre-stage, stage 1, 2. It's gonna be pretty interesting here. That person's all over the road, my gosh. So this is gonna be interesting with the SCAT packs, because as everyone knows, the SCAT pack is a naturally aspirated engine. That means that we don't have any turbochargers, no superchargers, no prochargers, nothing of that nature helping add power to the engine. And the SCAT pack is pretty much, it's not the best, it's not the ideal engine to build on, because of the fact that when you go to add parts and things of that nature to it, you're not going to get, you know, really big gains off the car. So what is going to come in, of course, wait till I get close and then when I get over, right? So what is going to come in the SCAT pack stages? This is kind of my thought process on what the SCAT pack stages will be. First, I want to say this: I feel like the SCAT pack stages will be much more expensive than the Hellcat stages and things of that nature. And here's why. So first, we're going to start with the pre-stage. The pre-stage more than likely will be an air intake, of course, the tuner, and more than likely the 180-degree thermostat as well. That's probably give you the small horsepower bump, 5 horsepower, and you're gonna have 490 crank horsepower. I'm only gonna speak crank horsepower because, you know, wheel horsepower can be different and whatnot, but we're gonna go crank horsepower here. So 490 crank horsepower after you do the pre-stage. So now stage 1 for this kit is going to be this. This is kind of my thought process. I think in stage 1 is simply going to be a tune in stage 1, a more aggressive tune, not too aggressive, because you got to remember the direct connect. This whole program allows you to mod your engine but keep the warranty. So these tunes are going to be pretty, let me see, best way, pretty conservative, because Dodge does not want these engines to go pop and blow up and things like that. They don't want to have to be switching out and repairing people's engines. They want these tunes are going to have to last in these cars pretty much like a factory tune. Now, you know, the factory tunes are usually very conservative because they're more for longevity, right? But the engines of course can do a lot more than that. But the 6.4 is one of those engines, like I said before, it doesn't have a lot of room to grow unless you start changing out parts. So stage 1 is probably just going to be a little bit more of a tune to get more horsepower out of it. Stage 2, this is where I said it's going to get pretty expensive here, because in order to get a lot of horsepower out of a naturally aspirated engine, you will have to change out parts, either headers, exhaust, you know, cams, something in the engine has to be touched to get the additional horsepower out of there. So this is what I'm thinking. Since each stage builds on top of the next stage, stage 2 more than likely would be mostly an exhaust upgrade. I'm talking more than likely headers, maybe a full catback system, things of that nature. And we got people cutting people off back here, and I don't like that. People, what's going on? People out here driving crazy, man. They got this blue charge. I mean, yeah, I'm not one of those guys, but you're not that guy. I got the Hemi over here, man, so come on now. But like I said, each stage is going to build on top of the next stage. So the first thing you will want to do is help the engine breathe better, and you do that by opening up the exhaust. There probably going to be maybe a catback system involved, or especially mufflers that need to go in the car. But definitely, I think headers are going to be a part of that upgrade, and you'll see why we need the headers going to the next part. Thinking you might be having to put a performance cam into the car. Now, if you look at the Direct Connect catalog, there is in fact a cam for sale that if you wanted to buy and install in the car. So I'm thinking that cam is going to go into the 6.4 liter, the SCAT Packs 392s, whatnot. It's going to go into that engine. You're going to get a tune, and I'm not sure what supporting mods they'll do with that. Maybe they might do valves, springs, lifters, stuff of that nature. But if you're going to do a cam, you do want to do those supporting mods as well. So that will give you the cam, exhaust, headers, and the tune, pretty much. And there's not much more else you can do to the engine unless you start changing out heads. That's pretty much it. I mean, you really can't do anything else to the engine if you're keeping it naturally aspirated. I mean, that's pretty much the extent of the 392. And the 392 is not an engine you want to be turbocharging and supercharging and things of that nature stock, unless you're planning on getting it built up to withstand that power and do it right. So that's my thoughts on on these Scat Pack stages here that they finally bring in. I'm very excited about that personally. I'm interested to see what it's going to be and what the cost is going to be for it. I do anticipate it's going to be the most expensive one due to the fact that it's a naturally aspirated engine that doesn't have a lot of room for growth. I mean, you could probably get it to around 600 horsepower. I'm thinking that is possible, depending on how aggressive they go with the tunes. But like I said, these tunes may not be that aggressive. They're going to have to be pretty conservative to help the engine still last and not push it to the point where you might void the warranty out and stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts on that when it comes to these Scat Pack stages and the Hellcat stages. Well, the Hellcat stages, you know, it is what it is, but I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on the Scat Pack stage. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure the thumbs up is there. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications on. Hope to see you on the next video. We are out. Cut it.